How was your Mother's Day? To start with, I want to ask you that how special it was, what you did.
Mother's Day was good. I mean, I have to let you know, I have a 4.5-year-old son, a toddler.
Yes.
So, right now he has just started understanding the concept of Mother's Day and birthdays, how special it is. So their usual craft and you know how it is, right? When your child does anything for you, you think it's like the best thing on the planet.
Yes.
Usual, I mean, all these years we would celebrate for our mothers. Now we are on the receiving end, and
Yes.
it's fantastic. It's absolutely fantastic.
Great, awesome. So, Parma, over to you. Please introduce yourself to the audience about your journey. Then we will be talking a lot about health and about the mother's health and everything.
So, as Meher said, that my education was I was an engineer at one point of time. I've actually done my MTech. I can't believe it. But like I keep saying that was kind of an arranged marriage for me. My actual love was, about healthy eating and being healthy generally. So when I conceived, I had to take in a lot of hormones and medication, due to which my weight had ballooned. At one point of time, I was weighing around 100 kilos, 100 plus actually, So it's not only about the looks point of view. I mean, often when people talk about weight loss, we think that it's much to do with how you're looking. But it's not. There's a lot of other things which come as a part and parcel of being heavy. That is, you have joint pains, you have, general aches and pains, and people must have experienced when there's a major weight fluctuation, your periods go into a, becomes very irregular. So anyway, I was always very passionate about working out and eating healthy. I thought that why not do it properly. To do anything properly, you have to start learning about it. You cannot just take bits and pieces of information for what is available on Google and help people. That is not ethical also. So I enrolled myself into becoming a proper certified counselor, so I could help people too. And this was in 2017 when I had done. And well, I have my certification now. I'm currently also doing an advanced level in sports nutrition, pediatric nutrition.
Great.
And I think I will keep doing this all my life because I love it.
Awesome, great. So now you are a health expert and nutritionist. How it has changed your life?
It is wonderful. I think what has happened is, like they say that when you find your purpose or when you start doing something you like, you don't even feel like you're working because, I can do this day, night, in, out. My friends know that. And I love studying formally about it, not just magazines and stuff, like proper courses and, learning more and more. So I intend to become a diabetes educator, which is, formal education on, because I feel that blood sugar and diabetes is a big problem right now. And it's probably the mothership of all the problems which we see, especially during COVID. We often see, a lot of comorbidity, all this is happening because of a person being diabetic. So at some point of time, I would like to do that as well. And of course, the journey has been fantastic. And the fact that this sort of coincided with my son's birth because of the whole weight issue. And, I'm taking it from there. And now I'm practicing full time. So it has been a journey, and I intend to take it forward, of course.
Great, great. So talking about Mother's Day, so it's a special day for us, but as you can relate that we have a really very hectic lifestyle and we forget that what to eat, what to not, right? So please put some spark on this.
So, what is the issue, Meher? The issue is that we complicate things, Like, I have people who keep asking me, but this has so many grams of macro and this has so many calories. I mean, you have to be practical. You have to
Exactly.
Go on a diet. That is also a very wrong concept about, it's not a train. Like, you don't go on and hop off and hop on. It doesn't work like that. Whatever you need to do, you need to adopt it like a lifestyle change. It's not like you lose 5 kilos and then that will jump back. So, because like you said, that our lives are already hectic, if people are working, mothers are working, even if they are not working, they are managing the household, they're managing their children. I mean, I managed my child for the last 2 weeks because, his father was not around, and I have a newfound respect for homemakers now. It's so much easier to work, and there's so many. So I think what we have to remember is to go by instinct. Often when we overeat or we don't eat on time, what happens is that we are overriding our instincts. Mindless. We are becoming very mindless, that we are watching TV and we are eating, or there is some sort of emotional distress which, to cover up for it, we eat. We say, we are emotional eaters, distress binging, all these words have come around. So I feel that the first thing to do is, when you're consuming something, you have to be mindful. Ki boss, I am sitting down, I don't have any distractions. I know it's easier said than done, but of course, if somebody is particular about it, that they want to make a change, I think they can. I know of people who have adopted a very healthy lifestyle and they have been at it. It's no longer even a challenge. So that is what we have to be a little mindful about what we are doing, not like generically ki theek hai, chalta hai attitude. That doesn't work.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So usually, like, if taking my example, like, I start my morning like every morning is like there's no time. Like every time is no time. Everybody. So morning is a very important part of the day, right? Eating right. So
Yes.
what you will suggest for that when we are like in hurry, and nowadays we don't have any meat, we have to cook also, so we always go for the shortcuts, and
Yes.
by the end of the day we are so tired. So what should be done? How to start the day in a proper manner?
So I believe in pre-planning. I mean, whatever I will consume in the morning, for me, it is planned the night before. Even if it is, I have a habit of, my clients and friends will know that I'm a big advocate of, having these soaked almonds and seeds and stuff like that. But I do everything in the night, because I know in the morning you have these online classes, and everybody is busy generally, even because of the whole situation right now. Somebody's house has some positive cases, so there's a lot of confusion around. And so in the morning, I suggest that whatever you need to do, you keep it ready in front of you. So in the morning, and that way you're motivated also. And this is not only in the case of eating. Even if you want to start working out in the morning, a suggestion would be, keep your workout clothes and shoes right in front. Because once you see it, it's a very psychological thing, once you see it in front of you, you feel like getting up and, getting started. So at least that would be my advice, that don't start from scratch in the morning. Keep everything ready. Even if you're having a cup of coffee, keep your cup ready, keep the coffee ready. So everything is just nice and sorted in the morning. Talking from personal experience, the first half an hour in the morning, I tend to get up before my child and my husband. The first half an hour, 40 minutes is just my time. There's no phone, there is no distraction, there is nothing, there's just silence. And I feel, though it is a very theoretical thing, people think that no, it doesn't work. It does. It's a very good practice to go the first half an hour to 1 hour without any phone, any gadget, just yourself and your thoughts, and I think you get sorted through the day. Because now when I don't do it, I feel very irritated.
Good, good. You're blessed to have a very systematic lifestyle. We have to train ourselves. So, talking about this working out, you said that what one should eat when we are like we rush, like we wear shoes or we put our yoga mat. We just start like we have to do something and then something else. But ideally, what one should eat before doing such a heavy workout or the yoga, whatever.
So, see, the thing is that like everything as far as eating is and working out is concerned, everything is very individual. I mean, what works for you, Meher, might not work for me. Some people cannot function in the morning without eating something. I've heard people ki I need to have something before working out because otherwise I'm low of energy. Some people say in the morning I cannot eat anything, I have to work out. So you have to figure out first what works for you. Like, in the morning, if you think that you need a little bit of energy, have a spoon of peanut butter or have some soaked nuts, have some sprouts or have a cup of coffee. Or if you think nothing, then have some water and go. But the idea is to find what works for you and stick to that. Don't make it, you have to get along into, make it as a lifestyle, not ki ek mahina we are doing it, then next mahina we are taking a break, then nothing comes together. You're always short of reaching that goal. So
Exactly.
yeah, that
Yeah.
was.
So there's a myth also. I don't know. There's a myth or that drinking hot water with lemon and honey. Somebody say no. I take only that black coffee.
Yeah.
It gives energy, the peppiness. So what you suggest? Expert view.
Like I say that hot water and honey, lemon water, cucumber water, everything is good. There's no harm in it. But these are all catalysts. What I mean is ki if you are not eating right and if you are not working out, then all these little things are not going to make any difference. You know what I mean? These are just the things which might help you and need not be ki they are only helping you in weight loss. Sometimes it might help you something in digestion. Some things they might help you in lowering your blood sugar. Like they say that if you have a pinch of cinnamon in the morning, that lowers blood sugar, methi seeds. But having said that, everything works only if your 70% of your diet is kept properly and your working out at least 5 days a week is kept properly. Otherwise, no matter how much green tea you have, how much green coffee, black coffee, whatever you're doing is not going to work till you get the basics right.
Exactly. And
Yeah.
how to finish off the day, like being a busy moms, that we take a dinner and we are like just
We don't understand what have to be done. Excuse me. Yes.
how to finish off the day, like before going to bed.
So again, I feel that just like you started your day, you need a digital detox is probably the need of the hour. I mean, I don't know how underrated this concept is, that if you think we are always sticking to our phones, you see a random person, they're looking down into their phones. We have reduced reading books. We have, reduced even speaking to, your partner or your this thing. So I again believe that what at least I do is the last 1 hour, I keep my phone away. I read a book, some sanity. I don't even watch TV. And again, another ritual which you must follow is, like I said, prepare for the next morning. Keep everything set. So just a little bit of inward calming yourself, because Meher, it's not only about your physical. Right now, how the energy is around us in our country as of now, it is so negative. I mean, and understandably so, because
Yes.
this disease has hit us hard. And this time it has literally hit us home, because somebody or the other, some relative, some friend, some family member has been affected. So this is a time where somewhere you need to give yourself a break from this diet of negative news. I know there are things happening and you cannot stop them, but you don't need to absorb everything. It's not for you to absorb every negative energy which is coming in. It is also a good time to look inwardly, because we are at home more than before. A lot of things which we couldn't do earlier because we are going out, we are socializing, that we can do right now. So a lot of it also depends upon how you're planning to utilize that time.
Exactly.
If there were so many things, like we say that, oh, I cannot lose weight because I go out and eat out and I have to socialize with my friends. We are not doing that now. So maybe you can focus on that. Small things. You need a diet of some good energy around us to look inwardly. That helps, at least. That's what I have been trying.
Great. And talking about this COVID cases, as you said that now everybody's in, like every second person in the family or the friends. So what you will suggest that those who are not affected, that how we should prepare ourselves, like what should routine we have regarding eating, what we should eat, that in case if we get affected, that we will not get that impact.
Right. So see, the thing is that, of course, immunity is the buzzword right now. But let me also tell you that immunity cannot be built overnight. I mean, you cannot drink kadha your way to immunity and think, 1 month I had kadha and now I'm going to be immune. It doesn't work like that. I made a reel recently which also was regarding this thing, that you start right now. If you're building your immunity, it has to be done over the year. So again, COVID is not something where you can actually stop it, because you don't know, it is a air transmitted disease and how it reaches you. But of course, you can fortify yourself to some extent, having your, again, I'm taking a personal take here, that having your multivitamins, having all these supplements, B complexes and your omega-3, these help. In the long run, these are helping in building your immunity. This is what my suggestion would be, that as of now, if you haven't started already, consult a dietitian or consult a nutritionist, and along with your food, what are the things you require on top of your food as supplements, because these are necessary. Why? Somebody does ask me that, why can't we just take it through our food? Why do we have to take alag supplements? Now, there's something called bioavailability, which means that everything you eat doesn't get absorbed. Or to get that much amount, you have to eat a lot of it, which is not possible. You need to probably consume 50 to 60 lemons to get that amount of vitamin C which you need right now. So that is not possible. So you need this kind, and do this over the year. Don't do it now COVID has struck, so let's do it right away, because then it is not going to work. And of course, eat clean, as much as you can, home food. If you are a recovering patient, then you must focus on eating very wholesome food. You need your good amount of complex carbohydrates. This is not the time for going on any sort of diet, keto or low high protein, nothing. You need to get back to the basics. Like you have your khichdi, dal, chawal, the basic building block of Indian food, because that's how our body is, used to it. So start with that. And of course, recovery is a slow process, but of course it happens. There is nothing about that.
Exactly. Okay, talking about the food, sometimes you're really confused regarding that how much proportion of fruits and vegetable we should eat. Like for kids also, like eat one banana a day or eat one apple, then eat one sabzi. It's really get confusing, right? And sometimes we miss also. So is there any some formula?
Yes, of course. For kids, I think not only for kids, even as adults, I mean, let's get real, we all skip our vegetables. There are always ways to include it without being very obvious about it, like say putting spinach in your roti, or if you're making a batter, you can add chopped vegetables for it. Fruits can be consumed as snacks, up to 2 servings per day. don't worry too much about sugar ki, this fruit is sugary, or that
Yes.
is, it's a very different concept. It is fructose and it's not the normal glucose, so don't worry about it so much. And basic guidelines, Meher, it's ki we know fruits and vegetables are good for us, so have them. Have them for you some way or the other. Have them for your breakfast, have them for your lunch. And the good part about the Indian diet is generically we do include a lot of it. Any part of India will have that sabzi, dal, roti, or fish. Like me being a Bengali, we have fish as a staple in our eating patterns. These are all good practices anyway. So you can just go back to the basics right now.
Exactly. Talking about food now, like we mothers, we forget to drink water. That is the main issue. That sometimes I realize by the end of the day that I haven't taken 2 bottles of water. Means it's so low. So I saw one reel, I really liked your reel, that how you were educating people how to train yourself regarding that. Would you please tell us?
Yeah, so I had made a reel recently, like it was an IG, because this is something I do. I have been doing. I am very particular about drinking water because, again, I feel that no matter how much of skincare you invest in, if you're not basically hydrated, then, and it's not only about, like I said, it's not only about your skin, it's just about your general well-being. My point was just like take 3 bottles, put your name on it, and I don't know how it works, but it just works for me. And
No, it's very good.
That if your name is written and the whole bottle is there, you have to consume it, you end up consuming it.
Exactly.
And again, like everything else, this is also a habit. Once you get habituated into doing this, you feel ki nahi, aaj I have to finish that quota. And let me also tell you that there is also people who are working out. They feel that should you not drink water during workout. Like I have heard these bizarre concepts that while you're working out you should not drink water. I don't know why, but please make sure that for every 20 minutes of hardcore workout you have to drink at least 500 ml of water. That is the way it should be, especially in a very tropical country like ours. Generally it's a very hot country. So yes, mothers, of course, we are always like the epitome of sacrifice. That's how we think it should work. But no, I again feel that the first set of
and kids also, they also don't drink water properly. We have to monitor them, right? I guess for them also it should work.
Monitor them, and more often than not, it's also about habit. Like if you keep consuming water at intervals of time, then your child also sees. Children learn whatever they see us doing. This is the basic things that whatever they see you drinking a lot of water, they will do. They see you adapting healthy practices, they will do. They see you sitting in front of the TV the whole day, they will do the same thing. So dheere, of course, till one point of time you have to be insistent, and after that they are also conscious about how much to drink and all. We are lucky right now in some ways that because kids are at home, we can monitor them better.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So talking about our eating habits, what more suggestion you want to give that how we can structure our day? Like we do have this breakfast time, lunch time, dinner time, right? And everybody have different time, right?
Yeah.
Because everybody have a sleeping time, right? Different sleeping time. So ideally, what should be the structure? How much difference should be there, and what we should take? Many say that start with salad, then go. There are lots of things.
Yeah. So what happens, Meher, is that your schedule is very different from my schedule. Maybe so you must, like I said, blind copy pasting somebody's lifestyle onto yours. It will not work. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes, like I know, because I practice this, I give a heavy breakfast to some people, and to some people I ask them just to eat fruits till 12 o'clock. both of them are losing weight, both of them at the end of the day are perhaps consuming the same number of calorie, but you must figure out that which part of the day you are most active, your bulk meal should go there, and which part of the day you're not. That you have to figure out. Like if you're working out in the morning, then you need to have a breakfast. If you're working out in the evening, you need to have a heavier dinner or perhaps a post-workout. So like I said, it has to be very customized. It has to be as per the person's lifestyle, and not only lifestyle, even as per the person's likes or dislikes. I mean, if I give you something, if I tell you, no Meher, you have to eat this soup whole day, you don't like it, how long can you deal with it?
Exactly.
You need something which you can sustain, through what you like to eat. I guess everybody has their own food philosophy. This is mine, that anything which needs to be on a long term has to be sustainable and has to be liked by the person. Your taste in meals will be very different than mine, so it has to be different. I can't impose what I like on you. So
looking at this present situation due to the lockdown and all, we are hoarding things, like we're keeping 2-3 breads, a lot of things, like right that it will finish off. So how to structure these things, means how to develop a good eating habit, because of the lockdowns we are getting a lot of things, kids are eating snacks because to keep themselves entertained, so we are going out of track. By the end of the day we feel like, oh my god, how unhealthy day we had, just to because of the stress level and minimum things, right?
Correct. So see, there are two ways of looking at it. Because this pandemic is very unprecedented. I mean, we have never seen anything like that. We never thought a time would come where we will think twice about meeting our friends or talking to our neighbors. We are so scared now. I mean, I know people who live in an apartment who haven't left their apartment in the last month. They have not even gone down. So right now, the first thing I must tell you, that even if somebody is doing that, if they are not sticking to their usual, don't take too much stress right now, because there's a lot of other things going on. God knows when the next person turns positive, and there's so much. So now if you also burden yourself berate yourself that I'm not doing this properly, then it's just an additional stress. What happens is, when we have a normal day where we are going out to work, we're going out to meet friends, then you're in a much lighter frame of mind. That time, if you tell someone that, do this, don't stack, don't hoard your food, keep healthy things in your fridge, it works. But right now, I think in a very weird way, it's okay. I'm not suggesting that go all out or go mindlessly eat, but I'm saying that if you are 10-20% out of your usual track, if you're maybe eating a bag of chips every day, it's fine. We will. I'm hoping that this pandemic should end soon and we'll be all back on our tracks.
Exactly.
We have to be a little bit more human right now.
So talking about mothers on, well, it's a Mother's Day special. Well, majority of the time they have this issue of hair fall, right? At some point of time, hair fall. So what you will suggest them from the eating prospect, or means whatever, how we can help them regarding, well, even I also have that issue.
So hair fall, first you have to understand the difference between hair fall and hair loss. Okay, so it is normal for us to lose around 100 to 120 strands per day. That is okay, because the hair is a continuous process, and hair loss will have a lot of other underlying problems, reasons to it. So as far as hair fall is concerned, which is our normal, again, everything starts from inside. I mean, I think that hair oiling and all that does help to an extent. It helps, in the blood circulation of your scalp and all. But unless you get your eating, your internals right, only then it is reflected outside. Of course, hormones, if you think that you're experiencing too much of hair loss, you should get your blood work tested, because sometimes it's also because your hormones are going haywire. That can be the underlying cause. But otherwise, of course, eating iron rich food, ferritin, serum ferritin should be checked, because eating your dark leafy green vegetables, including nuts and seeds every day. People are scared of eating nuts every day or seeds every day, thinking that they will grow fat. But nobody has grown fat eating peanuts, That is not how you put on weight. You put on weight eating processed food. So these are, and there are so many multivitamin and hair supplements available in the market. Pick a good one, talk to somebody and pick a good one. And again, and have the patience, because these things are not overnight. You need at least to generate this hair follicle, to rejuvenate. You need a span of at least 4 to 6 months. That's how the body works. Because to grow, so have that amount of patience. But of course, if you're doing things right, then there is no reason why it will not happen.
Exactly. Now, talking about this eating habit with the season, right? We have in India, we have all season are coming up: winter, summers, rains. Right. Right now it is summer, so it's become very hectic, right? Because we feel very exhausted throughout the day because of the heat around. So how we can balance with food, good feeding?
Like in winters, you must be seeing that we have a lot of craving for sweet food, because winter, again, our body needs to keep ourselves warm. It demands extra calories. Sugar gives instant calories, so we crave a lot of. That's why winter may you have these jaggery and all these meetha, ghee, these kind of food. Summer may often the hunger is sometimes just dehydration. So if you're constantly hungry, try drinking something first. If you think that you feel like snacking all the time, instead of reaching out to eat something, drink a glass or two of water. Coconut water, fresh juice. And again, in our country, there are so many seasonal things like sugarcane juice and bel ka sharbat. These are fantastic things,
Exactly.
There's no reason why you should avoid it. So have a lot of fluids, a lot of liquid based, thin dal, lighter stuff to keep, because even in the summers, you'll feel our digestion system also becomes very sluggish. When you eat the same amount of food, you feel very heavy. So so the body also adapts itself along with the seasons. And in summers, goes without saying, you have to take in much more of easier, lighter food, more fresh fruits and veg. You will see that the fruits which grow, the vegetables which grow in summers are more water filled. Melons and that cucumber, have that. Include a lot of that in your diet. You'll feel a lot better.
Exactly. So, talking about what is your routine? What you eat? You are so fit, and your secret mantra.
So I have see, again, I do everything very normally. I really don't believe in over calculating my calories. Like people say that I need to have 1600 calories today, or I need to have 1200 calories today. Though I get my equations right, but I don't believe that is how you sustain yourself every day. There are times when I just want to lie down and eat something. So that's okay. Your body is very forgiving. You don't have to. It's not a drill. So, but personally speaking, since you asked, because I'm at home, my activity levels in the morning it's very light. I'm just sitting and doing my work, or I'm with my child. So I try having only fruits and some raw food till my as my first meal. So it can be, usually it is a portion of fruits, some nuts and seeds. Nothing cooked. I also have started incorporating these sweet basil, sabja seeds in the morning. That keeps you cool. That's very good for your complexion. So these are things which I do in summer. In winters, all that changes again. Because winter, you tend to feel hungry, so you have to shift your food eating habits. But as of now, I try to include one raw meal per day. Go easy on, not eating too much fried and all. And something I've been doing over the years is having an early dinner. Like, I eat my dinner by sunset. That is around 6:30. Before 7, I'm done.
Oh my God, great.
Yeah. That is, I think, really helps. Is there's something that if you align your digestion system with sunrise and sunset, it works in optimum. So obviously the sunrise part I cannot do. I cannot get up at 4:35. So at least the dinner part I try having it by 6:30 and I call it a day.
Great. Means eating dinner early is a good thing, right?
Eating
It
dinner
will
early,
monitor the whole day.
Because, everybody says that breakfast is the most important meal of the day. I genuinely feel that dinner is the most important meal of the day, and it's the game changer in your diet. If you have to set things right, you have to start by setting your dinner right, because there cannot be anything good coming out of eating at 10 o'clock, eating at 11 o'clock and eating some heavy oily food in the night. You're not doing your digestion system a favor at all. Then comes all that acidity, next morning bloating, and that comes as a package. What we do is we end up having antacids. We are just suppressing the problem instead of actually going to the root of the problem. The root is our routine. Try eating your dinner by 6:30 for a week, and you see the difference, how much better you feel internally. Not only about your weight, but how good you feel.
Well, it's very popular said that take a breakfast like a king and lunch like a prince, that like a pauper. Is it true?
So in a way, the thing is that if you are eating less for dinner, see what happens is there's something called biorhythm. Okay, so the digestion system, see our working capacity. When we go to office in the morning, we are fresh. We are doing all our work. By 6 o'clock in the evening, we are tired. That time, if you're called in for a meeting, if you're called in to pitch in some idea, you will not do your optimum. Correct? So it's the same thing with your digestion system. At 9 o'clock, if you're asking your stomach to digest something, a big meal, it will not work.
Exactly.
So that is why the concept has come that when your digestive system is working at its peak, that is in the early hours of the day, then get done with most of your calories or energy intake, and as you progress towards through the day, then lighten the load up. I believe that.
Purnima, Aditi, she's asking that if you are up till late, then what to have if you don't want to?
So I'll tell you, Aditi. So what I do is, it's like I said, I have my dinner at 6:30. Though, like I said, it's a matter of habit. Usually, like, I'm also a late sleeper. I don't sleep before 12:30. I generally don't feel hungry because I have been used to doing this. But if you are, sometimes if I do, some things I take is maybe a bowl of yogurt, maybe an orange, something not very heavy, something which will not have any some adverse effect on your stomach, and just have it and don't keep something very fancy and good for post dinner or late night snack. You should get into the habit that after you finish your dinner, even if you're hungry, you drink some water. Don't encourage the habit of eating afterwards. If you must, then some things, in winters I eat carrot, maybe a carrot or so. Some buttermilk, a glass of buttermilk, one fruit maybe, a handful of this roasted chana. These are these small things I have it in my kitchen so that I'm not tempted to pick up chips and bhujia and stuff like that. Yeah.
Great. Hope Aditi, you got your answer. So, talking about these, you had one very good reel regarding the fasting. Like in India, we have these Navrat fast, and as you know, our Ramzan is going. So, what should be done with the eating habit? Because we end up eating a hell out of things in the evening. My God.
I know Ramadan. See, I have been brought up in Abu Dhabi, so I used to enjoy the iftar feast. Like it used to be a big thing, and I used to love it. But now when I look at it, what happens is like I get these different kind of fasts. Say when we do Navratri, we are not exactly not eating. Like in Ramadan, you're not having water or food through the day. In Navratri, you're eating alternatives. Like instead of say wheat, you're perhaps eating kuttu, but buckwheat or potato. People think that because they're fasting, they can have as much of those alternatives as they want because we are on a fast. Often they overlook the fact that calorie wise, it is more heavy. So, and then there are people who are on the other end of the spectrum who use this time to lose weight by just having fruits, having, they're consciously trying to lose weight. That also doesn't work. Because over a time of 7 days, 8 days, 9 days, if you're trying to crash your way to losing weight, it will come back. Like that goes without saying. Coming to Ramadan, where you're abstaining the whole day, what happens is, your digestive system is very easy because you're not giving it too much food. Relax kar raha hai. And at iftar, you are suddenly bombarding it with a lot of food. It gets overwhelmed, and then it gets rise to this gas and acidity. So when you're breaking the fast, go easy. You have to first hydrate yourself well. Hydration has to be taken into given a priority over eating. The first thing, we can stay a longer time without food, but we cannot stay for more than 2 days without water. Hydrate yourself, have composite food like say dates, have that, satiate yourself a bit, then go to your table and start eating. So that nobody attacks the food and it doesn't go that way.
Exactly. Great. So many valuable insights you have given. Thank you, Purnima. And before wrapping up, I want you to give a message to all the mothers on the Mother's Day to have a healthy and happy lifestyle.
Yeah, actually, I remember writing it to you, Meher. I really believe that, being a mother, it's fantastic. I mean, who are mothers, they can vouch for it. That it's like, you do, unless you have a child, you understand that how much you can love somebody so unconditionally as your child. But that should not be the only thing you should love. I feel that you're just as important. And like you cannot pour from an empty cup, it is very important for us mothers to give ourselves that amount of importance, privilege, love, unconditional love, what we give our children, what we give our family members. Often we think that being those, like I said, epitome of sacrifice and, Mother India, that is how it works, but it doesn't. Unless you are well rested, unless you are eating well, unless you're happy with yourself, that is how you keep people around you happy. Because we've seen it, that if we are tensed or if we are irritated, we take it out on our kids, we take it out on our family members. So first, you go, sort of live for yourself, make yourself happy. There should be an identity which is your own. Then you become somebody's mother, then you become somebody's wife, that is fine. But first it has to be your thing, that who you are as a person. That can be anything. You can be working, you can be a homemaker, there is no discrimination that way. But it has to be just your and what you like, or, on those lines.